Welcome, viewer. Imagine nicking a crown, murdering a king, executing an archbishop, catching the medieval equivalent of a sexually transmitted disease on holiday, and still being considered the lucky one. Welcome to the reign of Henry IV, the man who spent his entire career waiting for karma to finally catch up. And it very nearly did. Henry IV, formerly Henry Bolingbroke, did not just grab the English throne. He basically mugged it in broad daylight, shouted, "It is mine now," and legged it. You see, he overthrew Richard II, a king so unpopular he made Prince Joffrey look like a charity worker. But here is the catch. By proving a king could be removed, Henry had accidentally invented the worst idea in monarchy history. Hey, if we do not like him, let us just get rid of him. Which, as you can imagine, kept Henry up at night. Every night. Desperate to look legit, Henry IV tried every public relations trick in the medieval book. He promised lower taxes, repealed nasty laws, kissed up to Parliament, and vowed to hammer heretics harder than a medieval blacksmith on a deadline. God, Parliament, the Church. He even tried smiling at people in the street. None of it worked. Henry even had to interrogate friars personally. Yes, the King of England, cornering monks like a bad cop in a 1980s television show. Is Richard alive? Maybe. Would you fight me to defend him? Absolutely. Cue Henry's calm, measured response. Right then, off with your head. Truly the diplomatic finesse of a sledgehammer. Then came rebellions. Bad ones. First, some Ricardian loyalists tried storming Windsor Castle. It failed. They fled westward, where the citizens of Cirencester decided, nah, and butchered them like badly behaved geese. Sir Thomas Blount had it worst. Half-hanged, gutted in front of a roaring fire, offered a drink he could not physically swallow, and still managed the ultimate flex. I die in service of my noble King Richard. Harder than any TikTok warrior today, folks. But even with body parts flying and heads rolling, Henry's life did not get easier. His wallet was empty. He had to beg Parliament for money every time offering them a fresh bribe. Would you like fewer oppressive laws with your taxes today? And like good medieval Karens, Parliament replied, not until you fix the potholes, lower the rent and apologise for existing. Then the Percys, think of them as the Percy pigs of rebellion, got fed up too. Hotspur Percy, feeling short-changed, gathered an army, shouted that Richard was alive again, because why not, and got ready for a big, bloody tantrum. Henry showed up fast, no messing about, leading to the Battle of Shrewsbury. Hotspur's archers turned the king's army into medieval Swiss cheese, but Henry pulled out his inner rugby dad, rallied the troops, and in the chaos, Hotspur was killed. Ironically, Henry V, teenage Henry, took an arrow through the skull and just walked it off. Tough bunch, were they not? 2 years later, the Archbishop of York, Richard Scrope, thought he would try rebellion. Now, killing a king, you could spin that. But killing an archbishop? Oof! Henry did it anyway, and immediately got hit with divine retribution. Mysterious illnesses, nightmares about traitors setting him on fire, and symptoms suspiciously close to, well, syphilis, which he probably caught on a holy pilgrimage that was about as holy as a back-alley kebab shop at 3 a.m. After 1406, Henry finally figured it out. Stop fighting everyone. Smile politely. Let the great lords boss each other around. Sit very, very still, and maybe nobody would kill him. Meanwhile, his son, Prince Henry, was staging his own teenage rebellion. At 19, Henry of Monmouth was already bossing around nobles, building a fan club bigger than his dad's, and accidentally suggesting, "Hey, Dad, maybe you should, I do not know, abdicate." Henry IV was not having it. Cue awkward palace arguments, accusations of theft, and finally a soap opera-worthy moment where Prince Henry dramatically fell to his knees, handed Daddy a dagger and cried, "If you hate me so much, just stab me." Frankly, if TikTok had existed, that would have been trending for weeks. 6 months later, Henry IV died of guilt, disease and sheer bloody exhaustion in Westminster Abbey's Jerusalem chamber. He left behind a will describing himself as a sinful wretch and never worthy to be a man. Which, was fair, to be honest. But here is the kicker. He won. He founded a royal dynasty, the House of Lancaster, and 3 generations of monarchs came from the man who thought he would not last the week. Buried with his crown clamped tightly to his corpse, because even in death Henry was not taking any bloody chances. So, what did we learn today? Well, if you steal a crown, everyone suddenly thinks they can too. If you murder a king and an archbishop, do not act surprised when God sends you weird medieval syphilis. Promising no taxes is like promising a diet on New Year's Eve. It sounds good, but you will break it by February. And above all, never trust a teenage prince who hangs around with party animals and demands you abdicate for your own good. Because that little bastard is about to become Henry V. Follow for more history drenched in sarcasm and dread.